and welcome back to Balanceworks Yoga. My name's Emma and today I'm going to take you through a practice that is all about connecting back to our foundations, the things that ground us and root us to the earth. So on a physical sense in our practice, on the mat, and also maybe having a think in a slightly more metaphorical way as well in our lives, and how connecting with our foundations and our roots can help us feel more grounded and more stable and stronger to face any challenges that might be ahead. So we are starting in a seated position to take a moment to get comfortable, however that is for you. It doesn't have to be cross-legged. You can kneel, you can even start lying down a little bit if you like, or on a cushion or on a block or on a chair. Anything goes really, as long as you are comfortable and you're not distracted by any sort of aches or areas of the body of discomfort. So take a moment to arrive, to settle. And however you're sitting, just sit nice and tall but comfortably. And maybe gently close the eyes or have a low gaze if that's better for you. And we're going to take a nice deep inhale and a longer exhale. And just notice what's happening in the body as we inhale and expand slightly. And as we exhale, just shoulders melting back and down, maybe releasing a little bit of tension with each exhale. So just taking a moment to have this time to turn inwards, to slow down, to put everything on hold, all the things that create the busyness of our lives. Put that aside for now because you are here for you, taking time for yourself. So let's take a nice deep inhale in through the nose and let's sigh it out through the mouth. Nice and long. And option to just find a little mudra in our hands, a little hand symbol just in our laps here. So we're going to just put one hand on top of the other, palms both facing upwards. So just a simple mudra, maybe the thumbs touching, and just lay them in our palms. And then again, just reclose the eyes, and just it helps us just draw our awareness down to this part of our body, the part that's in contact with the earth. And maybe our root chakra, Muladhara, in this area of our body. Take a moment to think about what foundations mean to you. What are your foundations? If you think about the foundations of a building, if you dig them strongly, if you have good, strong foundations, then you will have a stronger building, a building that's less likely to fall down. So what are the foundations in your life? What sorts of things or people or places do you have in your life to support you, to stop you falling down when things get windy, when things get challenging? Just take a moment to list any of those things, bring your attention to them. It could be a place, it could be a person, it could be an activity like going for a walk or cooking, anything that just makes you feel at home, at peace. And as we sit here, just take a moment to really root down physically through our bodies, just really thinking about feeling heavy and relaxed through our base, through our feet in contact with the ground, our glutes, the base of our spine. You can almost imagine roots growing down, extending down into the earth and anchoring us here, making us feel supported. As you inhale, just drawing up the energy from the earth all the way from your spine, your pelvis, all the way up through your body, all the way up your neck to the top of your head, to find that lift. And on the next inhale, we're going to move our hands with that lift. So we're going to inhale and lift our hands up, just however they want to come up. Lift them up with the breath and exhale, bring them down again. So a bit of movement added now. Inhale, the hands can come up. Your eyes can stay closed, or maybe you can follow the hands with your gaze. Exhale down. Inhale up. As you inhale up, just lifting, maybe drawing the pelvic floor, engaging the pelvic floor muscles. Inhale a bit higher. Exhale down. Nice and steady. Don't rush. And last one, inhale, coming all the way up. Maybe our hands come all the way up above our heads. And just pause there on a lovely inhale. Take an extra sip of air. And as we exhale, keep the hands there, but drop the shoulders. So we're trying to ground down and feel rooted and anchored and stable and solid, but also lifted, reaching upwards. We're getting these opposing forces, this little stretch. And the next time, I'm going to bring the hands down on the exhale. We can just rotate the wrists, give them a little roll as we come down. And let's sweep them up one more time. Inhale up. And exhale, roll the wrists, maybe the opposite direction this time as we bring them down. Lovely. Hands can come wherever they want, maybe onto our knees as we just roll the shoulders. Getting to feel into our shoulders, our neck. And the other direction. Hands can be wherever. I just like to give my knees a little massage at the same time. Lovely. And one more, reach up with our hands, and this time we're going to interlace the fingers together and push away, get an extra nice stretch here again, rooting down through our glutes, our feet. Inhale up, shoulders down slightly. Exhale. And then we're going to flip the palms upwards to get a stretch to the arms. One more inhale, and then lower down the elbows, keeping the hands interlaced and bring them behind our back, behind our head, or neck, or you can release the hands and just lightly have your fingertips on your head. We're just going to inhale and open out the elbows here, and exhale. See if we can just draw the elbows nice and steadily towards each other. They don't have to touch, getting a little rounding of the back. And then inhale, open, expand the front body, squeeze the back body. And exhale, round the back body, give it a nice stretch, drop the head a bit further. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. Let's go one more. So this is like a seated cat-cow. Lovely, and back to center. Relax the arms. Just going to extend the legs out now, just to give them a bit of a stretch. Move my notes out the way. Give them a little stretch out. So finding like a seated, like Dandasana L position. Maybe pushing the heels away, getting a nice stretch down the legs and reach the arms up. As we bring them down, we're going to take a little twist to the right and bring the left hand on top of just to the side of the right knee to brace, and the right hand's just behind us, the fingertips to inhale and lift, get a lovely lift through the chest, and exhale, a little twist through the belly, the rib cage, shoulders. Another breath here. As you twist, you might feel the opposite leg just getting pushed away from you, getting a little sort of shift through the hips as well. And then inhale back to center, arms come up, exhale, twist to the other side. You might feel that hip draw backwards and the other one, just get this little shift. Again, fingertips behind you. Inhale to lift up, not to slouch. And exhale to twist. Trying to be nice and upright, engaging the core. Inhale and exhale. And come back to center. Going to bring our right hand down and just lift the left hand and just come into a little bend here. Trying to keep our hips and our glutes anchored down, nice and square. Inhale and exhale. One more. Just getting that lovely reach from the hip all the way to the fingertips. And then the other side. Inhale and exhale. Rooting down with that right glute Lifting up with the right fingertips. Getting a lovely stretch. And then back to center. Just going to bring the feet in here, maybe the soles of the feet touching. Have a little rock. And then just folding forwards, taking an inhale to lift and exhale, trying to keep a nice long back. Take a little fold here. Another breath to deepen. Inhale, lengthen the neck. And exhale, just a forward fold. Just trying to bring the chest forwards rather than rounding at this point. Even if it's just here, whichever depth you're at here. On the next exhale, then you can relax the head, relax the shoulders, maybe have a little sway. Feeling the stretch all the way down your legs, thigh muscles. And a bit through the back and the neck. Okay, we're going to come into tabletop now, so I'm going to tuck my feet in, cross them over and walk my fingers forwards and rock into tabletop, but you can get here however you like. And just take a moment to check in with your new foundation, your hands on the ground now, they are supporting you, so just making sure they're spread out. We've got a nice strong foundation rather than fingers together. So they're much stronger, spread out, and just warming our wrists up, and all the muscles in our hands can have a little rock from side to side. Maybe turning the fingertips out to the side of the mat, just beginning to warm up all the muscles through the hands and the wrists. You can add a little bit of sort of cat-cow motion with the spine if you like here. A little bit of rocking, maybe some circles. You know what your body needs here. It's nice to trust what it needs in tabletop today. Maybe the fingertips rotate all the way around to the knees, maybe not. Just a deeper stretch, or you can even just begin to peel the heels of the hand upwards to increase the stretch down the back of the arms. Okay, replace them back. And then we're going to, and if at any point this is not comfortable, you can always come onto your fists if that feels better, or even the forearms. Okay, a little bit of thread the needle. So we're going to make sure we're nice and grounded through that right hand, and inhale, lift the left arm up. Couple of wrist rotations here. And then exhale, thread it under, through, underneath, and just until you can bring your head down to the mat. If you can't, then you can always pop a block or a cushion here. Threading the arm through, getting a little twist and stretch for the shoulders. Maybe twisting the body so you're beginning to look up. You can be on your fingertips, or you can walk your right hand to the top of the mat for a deeper stretch here. Or you can inhale and lift the fingertips up to the sky, or take a little tuck to your left hip crease. All sorts of options just to feel relaxed, but a deep enough stretch. One more breath in whichever variation. Using the inhale to twist and the exhale to soften. Then release that hand, bring it down back under your shoulders so you can support yourself out of it. Lift it up one more time, and then bring that hand back down, back into tabletop. Make sure you're nice and stable before repeating on the other side. So inhale, lift the right arm up. Little wrist rotation if you like, just or wiggle the fingers, whatever it needs. And then exhale, thread the hand underneath. Sliding it through on the exhale till the head can come down to a block. You can use a block here or a cushion or anything you have to hand if it feels better. Left fingertips can stay next to your head, or you can walk the fingers to the top of the mat, or you can reach the hand up into the air or tuck it behind into your right hip crease. Whichever variation, inhale. See if you can just get an extra little twist here. Exhale, soften. Relax this right arm, this right hand. Just making contact with the earth. Just be aware of all the points of contact. Side of your head, this whole arm. And lovely, release the left hand, bring it back down, coming back into a tabletop position. And from here, just going to tuck the toes and come into a little downward facing dog. So lift the knees, push through the hands, drawing the hips backwards, pedal the feet, and just add whatever movement you need here just to explore through the body. Down dog is, I'm just going to come forward slightly. Down dog is a really lovely point in the practice to do that. Have a little feel. Bend the knees as much as you need. Press through your fingertips, pushing away to try and lift the hips as far as you can. Nice long back and relaxed neck. One more big breath here. Maybe we can sigh it out again. Inhale. Exhale. Cleansing breath. Beautiful. Then we're going to bend the knees nice and generously here. An option to take a little jump towards our hands. Look towards your hands, or you can walk there if you prefer. So if you want to bend, jump and bend the knees and take a little controlled jump to your hands, even if you just get halfway there. And then slide the hands up, coming to a half lift, stretching to the back of the legs. Little shoulder squeeze. Exhale. Slide down. Forward fold. Inhale, we're going to roll all the way up, taking your time, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin, unrolling. Till you find mountain pose. And again, just take a moment to take in this new sensation, this new foundation. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Now I've said it, I probably won't. And again, just have a look down, just check down to your feet that they are parallel and solid. If you want to just have a little move through your feet, a little rock backwards and forwards. You can either have your eyes closed or open. Just really begin to feel through your foundation, your feet, and just begin to activate all the muscles. So you might want to sway from side to side, feeling through the sides of the feet, and maybe turn it into a bit of a circle. It's nice to have your eyes closed here, because then you can kind of relax rather than, I don't want you looking down at your feet too much, otherwise you're going to sort of get a bit of a curve in your neck. So just relax into it and use the sensation through your feet, down the sides of the feet, round the heels, the other side, and through the toes. And again, just really feeling through the feet. If you feel a bit wobbly, that's fine. This is where you're practicing your balance. You always have your eyes open. That's better. Change direction. Feeling through all the edges of your very important feet. Option here, just to come back to center and see if we can come up onto our toes. As we come up on our toes, just nice and steady, nice and steady. See if you can hold it. Maybe bring the arms up as an extra challenge, wherever they want to come to here. Don't worry if you wobble and step forwards, that's fine. But now we've got a very small foundation, challenging foundation just on our toes, and then lower back down again. It's also lovely for the calves. Let's go one more time. Really strengthening. And exhale down. Maybe lift the toes up now and spread them back down. Awesome. Okay, now we're up here. We're going to do a couple of rounds of Sun Salutation A. So it's the beginning of our term, yoga term again. Thought we'd stick with one that we might already know some of the moves to, and we'll come to Sun Salutation B, a slightly more challenging version later on down the line. So hopefully familiar, and we can really focus on the foundations as we go, the movements, and really connect with how it feels, the strength through our base, our feet, but softness in the rest of the body. Okay, coming to the tops of our mats. Nice steadiness, just checking with our mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back, tuck the chin. Nice, heavy, long arms. On the next inhale, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, gaze at our thumbs. Exhale, hinging from the hip, rolling down to fold. Inhale, slide straight up to a half lift. Hands can come wherever you like. Number 7 shape. Exhale, bend the knees, coming back to our forward fold. Take a moment here if you want a little sway. And you can have the knees as bent as you need here to try and get that hinge from the hip, trying to bring our belly closer to the thighs. Next, bend the knees as much as you need to bring the palms down to the ground here, and we can step back to a plank. Or if that's not accessible, bring the knees down, but we're trying to keep a nice long back, long neck here. So whichever variation we're in, take a couple of breaths, pressing the ground away, protracting those shoulders, long neck. Drawing the belly up towards the spine, but lowering the hips. So we're trying not to sort of hump up here, trying to be like a plank. One more breath. And then lower the knees down And we're going to hug the elbows in and just lower the rest of the body down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Slide the hands first forward slightly here as we inhale and just roll up into a little cobra, just pressing through our feet and our pelvis. Exhale, ripple down. Hands under shoulders. We're going to inhale and push our way all the way back, maybe through a tabletop. Adjust the hands if you need and lift the knees back up into downward dog. Take your time, especially first time round. Noticing how it feels in the body. One more big breath in down dog. Then look forward to the hands. Again, you can bend the knees and take a jump here, or you can step forwards or walk forwards and find forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to half lift. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Roll all the way up to mountain. Maybe bring the hands all the way above our heads, prayer position, and back down to our hearts. Again, just taking a moment to notice how you feel. Remind yourself of the things that make you feel grounded, the things that make you feel strong, the things that make you feel safe. And you can say to yourself, I am strong, I am grounded, I am safe. Or any other affirmations you like. Before we'll go again. So, nice little softness in the knees. Going to take a nice big sweep with hands, reaching up, looking at our thumbs, and exhale, fold. Inhale, slide up to half lift. Draw the belly in, exhale, fold. Hands down, step or jump back to a plank or a half plank with the knees down, you choose. Whichever position, spreading the fingertips, rounding those shoulders, not the back, but just the shoulders, separating the shoulders, should I say. One more breath in whichever variation. And then you can either keep the knees up or bring the knees down as we hug the elbows in and lower ourselves down to our bellies. Inhale, come up to cobra. Exhale, push up into downward facing dog. So at this point, I tuck the toes and I lift the hips. But if you want to go a bit slower through a tabletop, you get there how you like. One big breath here. And then bend the knees, take a little jump. Either halfway or all the way up to our hands. Inhale, half lift. Flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to mountain. Hands above your head. And then back to prayer position. Again, repeat the mantra or anything else. Okay, release the hands. Just give yourself a little sway here, maybe a bend of the knees, sway the arms, swing them around. Just allow them to do whatever they want here, maybe a little side to side. I like to allow the arms to be really floppy. You might even just release the feet a little bit here as well because they've been sort of anchored down, but now just a bit of lightness to counteract all of that. Maybe a little stuck from side to side. Awesome. Okay, so while we're standing, we'll have a little balance challenge here. So, first of all, just going to checking that we're nice and grounded through our feet again. So coming back to sort of like our mountain pose and beginning to bring the weight this time onto the left foot. So bring the weight on and just coming up onto our right toes. So really maybe find a focal point. And then at that point, you can either stay here or you can maybe hug that right knee in and just draw it inwards here. Maybe take a little ankle rotation while we're here. That's not a good demonstration, bit of a wobble straight away, but it's all fine. It's my body just probably saying to me, you went a bit fast then. So slow it down, grip with those left toes and center yourself. Standing up nice and tall. Another wobble from Emma. And either stay here or bring the toes back down, or option 2, release the left hand and just open it out to the side and then start to draw some circles here with that knee and with the hip. The hand can be out to the side for balance. You can hold on to something or it can hold on to your hips and then change direction. Maybe your toes come down at any point Lovely, bring it down, give things a little shake out with the legs, and we'll go on the other leg. So we're warming up, getting ready for tree pose, which is kind of the ultimate pose, balance pose for especially connecting with our foundations, our roots, like a tree. So grounding down through the right foot this time and coming light on our left toes. Find a focal point, hands wherever feels good here. And then just going to slowly see if we can begin to bring the weight all the way through our right foot now as we lift the left knee and hug it in to try and get that lovely traction and that lovely lift through the chest, a little squeeze through the shoulders. Rotate the ankle here if you like here, or a little point and flex, open the toes. And then when you're centered, keeping your nice focal point, we're just going to slowly release the right hand and just take that knee out to the side with the left hand and then just draw it back in again. You can bring it down if you like. Just seeing where we come to. And then we're really going to just release and draw some circles with that knee. So you might want to keep your hand there to guide it. And the toes can come down if you like. At any point, just testing our balance. Toes down for a moment as we change direction. I'm liking my hand out of the side at the moment. It's helping me, but you do what feels good. One more, lovely, and bring it back in. Give your knees a little lift here, shake them out, and then we'll get ready to go for tree pose. So we'll start again with the right leg first of all, so ground into the left, and we're just going to come up on the right toes and just open up the hips slightly here. Again, you can hold on to something if you need to. I think I need to today, but I haven't got anything quite in shot. So we're just going to open that out. It doesn't have to be fully to the side, but we do get a little glute squeeze as we get there, which is quite nice. And we can just find this variation of tree pose. If we feel solid here and the right ankle is on our left, our right heel is on the left ankle, then we can maybe bring our hands to prayer position and just hold it and just check in with our posture and really sort of root down through that left foot. Anchor down, visualize those roots anchoring us down like a tree. And inhale and just roar upwards. Maybe bring the hands up as we go. Inhale. You can always release the hands and just open up as branches. And again, just really sort of tap into that strength of a tree. Really using that visualization of the roots and your roots in your life to enable you to find these moments of composure, of strength, even when things get a bit wobbly, when the wind blows, when you face challenges. Can you stay rooted? Can you stay grounded? Can you stay stable-ish? That'll do. Okay, bring the hands back down. If you wanted to slide the foot up, if you feel balanced enough, you've got your focal point. I think that's why I wobble quite so much, because I'm always like changing my focal point from the camera to the floor to in a class as well. It's all going all over the place. That's my excuse anyway. So you can find this variation, or if you wanted, if you can take your right foot with your right hand, you can bring it all the way up to your thigh and get a nice squeeze there. For that one, you do need a squeeze. And again, whatever you like with the hands here, to add a challenge that suits you today. But remember, that might be different every day. And then release. Give things a little shake out. Then we'll go again on the other side. It's nice just to open up the hips, check they're nice and loose, and then get ready to ground down through the left foot, the right foot this time, and become light on the left toes. Beginning to open up the hip here so we can drop the left ankle on top of the left heel on top of the right ankle. Create a little softness here and really ground down through that grounded foot. Bring the hands to the heart center, and you can either stay here or you can slide the foot up. Just take your time to really notice, to really feel and ground through that foot, and take your time, especially with the movement, to make sure it's nice and slow and steady as you grow like a tree, growing upwards towards the sky, maybe releasing the hands like branches. Just finding a challenge that suits you. It might be that you add a little bit of movement at this point as well, like the wind, and see if you can stay rooted and then come back down. Again, option if you wanted to go into the full version. Remember, at any point you find what suits you. Always depends on what's going on. Hello, Harry. Harry's come to to challenge my tree pose. Okay, shake things out. Lovely. We'll be coming back down to the ground now. So just going to take a wider stance on the mat, widen the feet. Nice parallel feet here. Hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, open the chest, get a squeeze of the shoulders, and exhale, we're going to fold from the hips and just hinge forwards. Thank you very much, brought me a snake. And sending the hips backwards. And you might want to use a block at this point, holding onto a block. Thank you. Or bringing your fingers to the ground. Harry, on your bed. On your bed. Come on. Good boy. So find your fold, come there incrementally. We can inhale to lift and extend the back, and exhale to fold a little bit further using the block, whichever variation, or holding onto a piece of furniture or a chair, or finding the floor. And when you're there, eventually just relax, soften the neck, the shoulders, feel all that tension and sliding off your arms, your hands, your neck, top of your head. And then we're going to bend in the knees here. Bend the knees and heel toe the feet in slightly here. And begin to ease ourselves down into a squat. So again, you can use holding onto the block for this, or you can sit on a block. Just begin to maybe add a bit of movement, a little bit of lean from side to side. Ease ourselves down to our yogi squat. So whichever variation, if you're high, mid or low, just take a moment to pause. Big inhale and exhale, trying to lift and get as upright as you can. Just see, really gripping through your feet and the heels of your feet. And then we can bring our hands down behind us, or we can just ease ourselves down to the ground and extend the legs out and give them a nice little shake out here. Lovely. So again, finding that Dandasana, that L-shaped pose, roll the shoulders back, draw the belly in. And then we're going to draw the left foot in and bring it towards our right thigh. And have a little rock here, open up the knees, sort of a half butterfly legs, and just see how that feels. Then we're going to turn our pelvis to face the bent knee. And just going to slide our right hand down towards our right foot as we inhale, and allow the left arm just to float where it wants to here. Just coming into a little side bend, bringing just wherever we want to come to. So inhale, lift, exhale. Maybe you slide down a bit further. Feeling a stretch all the way down from our hip that's rooted down, all the way up to the fingertips. And then on the next inhale, we're going to windmill the arms and drop the left hand back behind us, reach the right hand. So we get a stretch down the other side, all the way from the right toes to the right fingers. Option here to press down and lift our hips up, coming into half wild thing. Reaching back and just opening up as much as you want to. You take the range where you want to here. And exhale, come back down. Going to take one more slide down. And then come back to the half wild thing, reaching, maybe lifting the hips, pressing through the points of contact with the ground, and exhale, down. Awesome, let's change legs and do that on the other side. I might just switch around. So this time we're drawing our right knee in. I think that's this one. Just started to rain quite heavily as well. Wowzers. And then open up the knee and just give it a little gentle encouragement here to open. Maybe adjust if you want to sit on something at this point, a blanket or something, if that helps you sit upright rather than slouching down. And going to inhale, just lift up for a moment to encourage the lift. And then we're going to exhale, draw the left hand down towards the left foot, flexing that foot so we can get a lovely stretch all the way down, maybe lifting the right hand up and seeing where it wants to come to. Inhale, lift, exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. Windmill that hand all the way back down to find the ground behind you as we reach the left hand, sort of swoop it behind us, maybe looking up towards it, maybe pressing through and lifting our hips as well. Inhale, just take it as far as you want. Squeeze in the glutes. Exhale, bring it back down. And we're going to slide one more time down. And the right arm to lift. And then back into half wild thing, lifting up. Feeling open on the front body, getting a squeeze of the back body, pressing to the ground. And then exhale, come back down. Lovely. Extend the legs now. I'm just going to, no, actually we're going to fold them in, going to cross the legs here and just walk the fingertips forwards and just get a nice fold. Inhale and exhale. Keep using that breath just to see if you can go a little bit further. Lovely stretch through the back, through the legs. But still feeling rooted through our sit bones. And then slowly walk the hands back up. Let's extend the legs. And just going to shuffle forward so we can support ourselves down to lying down position on the mat. Bring the feet nice and wide, bend the knees here. Bring the hands alongside you and just take a little windscreen wiper of the legs here, the knees, just to give everything a nice loosen up. And the next time they are on the right side, you can just leave them there. You can always bump the hips over and just make some adjustments here to deepen the twist. The hands can be out in a T shape if you like, to really anchor down through the shoulders and maybe send your head in the opposite direction. If you want to deepen the twist, you can always put your right foot or right ankle on top of the left knee. That sort of deepens the stretch all the way down the outer edge of the the left leg. Take 2 deep breaths into the side body. Feel it expand the rib cage. I'm not sure if you can hear that rain, but it is very loud on the roof. Got these skylights. It's gone very grey. Okay. There's the thunder. Release and come all the way back up through the middle and over to the other side. Again, bumping the hips over to the opposite side, allowing the knees to drop. Yeah, thanks. Keep the shoulders anchored down and making adjustments. And if you want a deeper stretch, you can always pop your left ankle on top of the right knee. Send your gaze or your neck, your head in the opposite direction. And take 2 deep breaths into this twist. Easing into it. Letting everything relax as much as possible. So if something's not feeling relaxed, you can adjust it so it is. And then come back to center. Hips back to center, nice and square, then hug the knees in, have a little rock and just give the back a bit of a tension here, maybe drawing some circles with the knees to really tend to your lower back. And just feeling as much contact with the ground as we can, feeling through all the corners and edges of our back and our head and our shoulders. That is such a noisy storm going on overhead, but I'm going to keep going. I might just have to speak louder. Awesome. Okay, drop the left knee and hug the right knee in and just give that leg a nice stretch. Extend it up to the ceiling, pushing the heel away, maybe a little sway here. We're nearly at the end. And then rebend that knee, bring the foot to the ground. Hug the left knee in, again, a little ankle rotation if you like, or extend and push the heel up to the ceiling. Interlacing the hands behind, again a nice stretch here, a little sway if you like. Feeling lovely and stretched out. Draw that knee in. And then just relax down, get comfortable for a little bit of relaxation, extending the legs one at a time if that feels good. And really trying to make sure that everything's nicely squarely grounded and anchored into the mats. And as you lie there, just take a moment to connect back with your breath. And let your body be held by the ground. With each breath, sink a little deeper into its steady support. And just take a moment to picture a place where you feel grounded, where you feel safe, calm, and at ease. See the colours, hear the sounds, and feel the air around you. And let yourself rest there. Next, invite someone into this space who makes you feel safe. Notice their presence, their quiet strength, and their calm energy beside you. Together in this place, feel yourself rooted, held by the earth, supported by love, and strengthened to take on any challenge you may face. Breathe here a little longer, grounded, steady, at home and at peace. You can stay here as long as you like, or you can begin to reawaken the body, deepen your breath, wiggle the fingers and toes, and just take a big deep inhale, drawing up the grounding energy from the earth. And as you exhale, allow any worries to dissolve. Any worries or stress that is still lingering away inside, just slide away. And when you're ready, rolling to one side, pausing there for a moment to feel safe, calm, and then bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. And just take a moment to remind yourself of anything that has resonated with you today. Take a big inhale in, arms up. Exhale, hands down to prayer position, to your hearts, and lock it in. Thank you very much for being here today, for following my practice. I hope you enjoyed it and weren't disturbed too much by the storm, which has been quite loud. It's quite lovely to have nature just doing its thing around you, and the earth definitely needs the rain. Namaste.